is well under its maximum, 2,400 watts. We was only up to a maximum of 1,700 there. Let's have a look, see how them eggs are getting on. Yeah, they're starting to glaze over them eggs now. I'm nearly ready, Sharon. Well, here's something we got for you today, folks. This is the Fossibot F2400 Power Bank. And depending on what you want it for, this can do many, many things. So let's take a closer look at it and see if this is going to suit your requirements. It's on for a fantastic deal at the moment. So let's run through and have a look what it's got. So why would you want a power bank, you may ask yourself? Well, you could be camping, you could have a need for a backup power supply in your house because you keep getting your power going out. You might have a motorhome, you could have a caravan, a log cabin, you might need an off-grid situation, and also you might have to power up some medical equipment in the event of a power failure. Well, this thing can do it all. It's rated at 2,400 watts. It's one of the bigger ones. The battery is capable of over 4,000 charges to charge it up to 80%. So you can charge this unit up with AC and also solar, as well as also your car battery. So it's got a 2,048 watt hour capacity, which means it's rated at 2,400 watts AC. It has got a pure sine wave inverter, which is capable of 4,800 watt surge, which is a quite high surge, because some appliances, when they first start up at a large power outage and then they settle down to the actual running wattage. So this thing can handle that up to 4,800 watts. Let's have a little look around it and see what it actually got. A lovely looking little unit, this one. It's got some unique features with it as well. I'm going to run you through them. But first of all, you've got the 12 volt 10 amp cigarette lighter, as you can see there. You've also got the 25 amp 12 volt there, as well as the other ones. They've got these little rubber caps on for protection there, obviously. That's the 12 volt 3 amp inputs as well there. You've got two of them, and that's where you turn your DC power on and off from. Coming over this side, you've got your USB sockets here. Let me just open these up for you. Again, they're just your standard USB sockets there. And then you've also got below your USB-Cs. These ones are rated at 20 watt. There's another 20 watt one down there as well. And if you can see there, you've also got a 100 watt USB-C point as well. Very good fitting rubber sockets there to make sure that they're waterproof. You turn your USB on and off from there. You also turn your power for your DC outputs off from there as well. So let's just turn the unit on for a minute. Just want to power it up for you. You've got a nice bright screen here. Might be a little bit difficult for you to see as I've got the light directly facing onto it as well. So you've got your input wattage there, and also your output wattage. Nice simple display there with your battery percentage left in the middle, and also how many hours it would run for there as well. Just below here, you've got a light. You press that, you've got a nice bright light there, and it also got your flashing SOS lights as well. So you just keep pressing it and then you can cancel it off like that. Coming round to the side of this unit, this is where you input your power or your charging ports there. So if I just open that up there, you can see your power for your solar panels go in there, and also your lead for your mains power goes in there to charge the unit up with as well. And there's a breaker there for if you get an overload situation. You've also got these fan covers here, which you just lift up before you start using the unit, and that allows the fans to be protected, the vents to be protected when you're not actually using the unit as well. You've got one on that side and coming around the other side as well. I'll just spin the unit round. You can see you've also got another fan right cover there doing exactly the same as well. On this side, depending on where you are in the world, this one's got 3 13 amp socket outlets. That would vary if you're in a different country, obviously, for the amount of sockets you get there, and also the type of sockets. And that's where you turn your power on for your AC as well. So that's basically the unit there. Looking at this thing here, this is where you can vary your input voltage when you're charging your unit up. Now, why would you want to do that, you may ask? Well, as probably a lot of you know, if you've got motorhomes, caravans, and you move about a lot, in the UK, you're probably pulling up to a campsite and they're going to give you 16 amps worth of power that you can use to plug your van in or whatever. Don't forget, you're going to be wanting to charge this up, and if you're travelling in countries like Europe, for example, the campsites only provide you with about 6 amps power to power your whole caravan. So if you're charging this thing from the mains in your caravan with only a 6 amp supply, this thing here has got a knob there where you can vary the input or the charging input so that you don't possibly trip out your caravan supply feed coming in from your caravan site, because as I say, some of them have got only 6 amps. So you'd plug your power in to charge this unit up there. You'd plug it into your caravan or whatever, and then looking on the front of this dial here, the input charge rate can go maximum at 1100 watts. Now 1100 watts is probably just over 4 amps. So if you're running other stuff in your van or whatever, you might just trip out the power if you're pulling full power to charge this unit up. So you can actually drop the unit down. As you can see, I'm down to 500 watts now to charge, down to 300 watts, all the way down to 300 watts there, and that will trickle charge it a lot slower so that you don't trip out your power coming into your caravan from a campsite. If it's only supplying about 6 amps, there's a lot of campsites in Europe can do that. So yeah, it has got that facility. Or you can just whack it straight up if it's not a problem, and you can fully charge through the AC socket down there, 1100 watts, which means that this thing will charge up in approximately 2 hours. And if you're using the full power there to charge up, and you're also using solar panels by connecting in there, you can add another 500 watts to that and it will charge up within 1.5 hours, 1.5 hours if you're using solar as well, at the 500 watt maximum which this can actually charge up with. So that's the unit there. Coming onto the top of it there, you've got the little storage box there, all your cables are in there. You've got your cable there for your solar panels, that was already supplied with it. You've also got this cable here, which is your normal power cable, which we're going to be using in a minute. And you've also got the cable there for charging up from your cigarette lighter as well. So you've got all these 3 different ways to charge up this unit. And as I say, on the AC side, you can regulate it there, which is a really good bonus. I've not seen another power bank with that facility. So what do we use a power bank for? Well, we use it for outside cooking, and if we do go camping. We have got a smaller one, but sometimes you need something with a bit more power, and this one goes in the back of our car, and we just take it out and we do some outside cooking and stuff like that, because it's got plenty of wattage available for doing that. We'll show you that a little bit later on. But one of the other reasons why you might need this, now you might be on some sort of medical equipment throughout the night, for example, which could help you breathe, or there's many different reasons why you need medical equipment throughout the night as well. And this thing can act as what they call a UPS supply. UPS stands for Uninterruptible Power Supply. So basically, if you lose power during the night, you can still continue to power your essential medical equipment with this unit without any breaks at all, even if the power goes out. And I'll show you how we do that. So first of all, we get our port, which is our normal AC charging port. So we plug that in, and then I've also got a supply here. So we're making that this is our supply from our house. So we're going to just plug that into there. So the unit is actually plugged into there like that, for example. So coming straight from my house power into there. Right, so I've got this table light here. So I'm just going to open up one of our AC outlet flaps there, and I'm just going to plug in. And as you can see, straight away that light's come on. I'm just going to open my vents on the side there. So basically, this light is now being powered off of the AC mains through the unit. And as you can see, the input 4 watts we're using, and the output is also 4 watts. So that light there is being powered through the AC mains. So this thing, as I say, bearing in mind, that could be a piece of medical equipment. So I'm going to now pull the plug out of the unit to simulate power going off, and we hopefully shouldn't see any interruption with the light going off. So here we go, get ready. There we go. That quickly changed over, as you saw, and that changeover speed was 8 milliseconds. And automatically it took over. That could be an essential piece of equipment. This is now running off of that. And let's say the power come back on again, as it normally would do. There we go, the little flash of light comes on. I've just plugged that back in again, and we're now back operating on the mains. So throughout the night, if you've got an important piece of medical equipment, bearing in mind this also run computers and all that, because it's got a pure sine wave inverter inside it, which means it can handle electronic equipment. It's very sensitive electronic equipment. That could be perfect. Or also your security system, for example. If you've got a security system or something you want powered, in the event of you going away for a period of time from home, this thing can do that as well. So it's a really, really good idea having the UPS power system that can swap over instantly and run straight away with that little flash, 0.8 milliseconds, and continue using without you having to do anything else. That's the benefit of a backup power supply, what they call a UPS power supply. So that's what that's good for. Right, so let's get this little unit outside and give it a real outside test. Do some cooking outside with this. This is what we enjoy doing. We see you outside. Here we are in a little remote location with no power apart from the old Fossibot 2400. So we've plugged in, all ready to go. Turn her on, Sharon. Now this induction hob can take up to, what's the maximum there, Sharon?
2000.
That is a 2000 watt one. We never really cook near 2000 watt anyway. We normally take it between 12 and 1000. So we've got that on now at the moment. And what Sharon's going for is...
We'll do yours first.
Hey?
We'll do yours first.
Well, these are going to take longer to cook, I
Well, it
think.
doesn't matter, because I'll tell you what, mine have covered in mince, so we'll cook yours, and while you're eating, I can start cooking mine.
Well, I've gone for these British beef burgers here. They look like a good quarter pounder size there, so let's just have your knife for a minute, Sharon. And they're actually a good sized burger, so let's whack them in. Now, me personally, I like to squash them down when I'm in there, so we'll plonk them in first of all.
Squash with that, squash them with that.
And I'm just going to squash them down a little bit because I like them a little bit flatter, because they will sort of cook a lot quicker as well. And while Sharon's doing that, we're pulling actually 1185 watts there at the moment. I don't know if you can see that or not. Now what you can do with this as well is that you can also be charging other stuff. You can use all these other ports here as well. To turn these ones on, you just press that one. To turn these ones on, you just press that one, and all of them become active as well. So we've got here just over 1000 watts there. We're probably cooking for a good old hour and a half there. Not that we're going to be doing that. We'll probably be cooking for about 20 minutes, won't we?
Yeah.
Tell you a little bit more about this. So as I said, one of the reasons you can buy a power bank, not just for cooking what we're doing here, if you're camping, like if you've got a tent and you've got no power, you can have it as a backup supply, as I've mentioned before. If you've got a motorhome and you have got batteries, but you can have something like this as a very handy backup as well. In a caravan, ideal for that, a log cabin, off-grid sort of situation, or as I said to you, powering medical equipment with the UPS supply. That's another great benefit for this. Now you can actually operate this as well from the smart app, so that you can see exactly what power's being used and all that from your mobile phone or your smartphone. And already, as you can see, we've only been cooking for a few minutes there, and already, 1150 watts. This thing is cooking up a storm.
And I've got the hob on 1400 at the moment.
Yeah, so as I say, we never cook any more than that, to be honest with you. As you can see, in that low wattage, 2000 would probably burn it. We don't really want to be doing that. So, and one other beauty thing as well, because it's quite windy today, Sharon, if you was cooking outside with a primer stove or a camping stove, one with an open flame,
don't blow out.
it wouldn't cook.
No.
Now, bearing in mind, this is an induction hob which we're using with this, and just get a bit of that tissue paper over there, Shell. We've actually shown this before, haven't we?
Yeah.
And this is the beauty of cooking with electric outside with a power bank, is that it doesn't generate flame which can cause fire. So we're just going to plonk that tissue paper there in between the induction hob and the pan, and you'll probably see that while that's cooking, that paper won't catch fire at all. And so you'll find a lot of places that say you can't have an open flame or cooking in a fire pit and all that sort of stuff. With a power bank, you can actually cook without any flame, so there's no problems in setting fire to an outside area and being a high risk that way. So there you go, that's ideal for that. So while they're cooking, I've also got some black pudding which I'm going to whack in there as well, Shell. And I've even got some eggs as well. Now, as you can see already, Sharon's put the lid on. It will cook a lot quicker with the lid on as well. So let's just open that up, Sharon.
And it's to keep the wildlife away, that wasp that keeps coming around.
I know, there is a wasp here actually. Let's just drop that in as well.
Ooh,
you want to drop that down, take it down. We took it down to 800 now. That's cooking way fast on...
Quickly, because I'm getting splashed.
I know you are, baby.
My new t-shirt.
Your new t-shirt. The new power bank, baby.
Well, he's not getting splashed.
Now, I'm probably going to throw a couple of eggs in there as well, folks. So that's the reason why I bought the lid as well. But yeah, so having one of these power banks it just enables you to do stuff like this, what we're doing now. And as I say, if you've got a tent, the beauty of it is as well, you can be charging all your other appliances if you was in a tent where you're totally off grid, for example.
It's not that big to have in a tent.
Ideal for night fishing with that light on the front as well. It's a pretty substantial light as well, which is a great thing as well.
There's no noise from it, is there? Nothing.
No. Oh, I forgot.
And here it says.
I forgot to open the fans up, Shah.
I was going to say.
Not that it's been running, because we're way under power at the moment. So I'm just going to open the other side. I forgot about that.
See, I'm needed.
Let's just open up the vents there just to help. But so far, on this small wattage we're using here, we haven't even allowed the fans to come on. We haven't cranked it up to its maximum. Bearing in mind, this can take a surge current of up to 4,000. I think it's 4,000.
What you could do is go in the car. I've got a phone lead and charge a phone up and all and see.
You can do that. You can charge all the multitude of things.
Yeah.
So already we've dropped it down to 800 now, as you can see there. Sharon's just flipping them over. We love cooking outdoors, don't we?
Yeah.
Well, we're normally cooking at the back of the car, but we thought we're in a little. There's the car over there. Look, so we've only walked from here to here, and as I say, bearing in mind it's only 22 kilograms. It's not really very heavy, and this is an old train line here. Look, so we're able to sit here in this lovely rural area here. That was the old platform to the train station down there, and we've collared this table. Although we do have our own little table, which we've got in the back of the car, and our own 2 seats, but. What we're going to do as well, we're going to not only just power that, we're going to power this little 600 watt kettle we've got here.
Yeah, I'd like a nice cup of tea.
Well, you won't be because it's coffee, Sharon.
I'd like a nice cup of coffee.
So let's plug that in over there.
We need the water.
See, this is the great thing about it, because we're well under the maximum wattage here. This power bank can handle more than just one thing. You've got 3 sockets there. There we go, we've just filled that up like that. So we're going to plug this one on as well. It's all plugged in. I'm just going to switch it on. Yep, the light's on. So now that's taking it up to 1733 watts. Again, cooking and also boiling a kettle, a little travel kettle there. So we'll leave that on now, and we'll have a look in there again, Sharon. Oh, look at that, fantastic. So while Sharon's turning that over now, what we'll do, we'll just flip them over again one more time. Let that cook off for a minute, because we're going to put in my couple of eggs. I think I'll have it with that as well, Sharon. Yeah, as I say, with this wind now, you'd be having a real problem with keeping the gas alight, and especially boiling water for a kettle as well. Crack me in a couple of eggs, baby. There you go, whack them in there. Lovely old job. Now she'll replace the lid, and that will cook the top of the eggs as well. They'll glaze over. There we go. We've got these coffee bags, which we do like. We like a nice strong cup of coffee, and these actually give you a good strong cup of coffee, Sharon, don't they?
They do.
There you go, look, little coffee bags. The old cyclist just went past you. I think he was...
Do you know, I sit here and I feel like carrying on camping.
How's my eggs coming on? Are they glazing over
I could
here?
have sold him a meal, couldn't I, as he cycled by? Would you like?
Well, they can keep looking, people.
Yeah.
Let's have a look, see how them eggs are getting on. Yeah, they're starting to glaze over them eggs now. I'm nearly ready, Sharon.
You're nearly ready. You was ready as soon as you sat down.
Of course I was. So Sharon's gone for these mint and garlic lamb rump steaks, which look very, very nice and tasty. So kettle's warming up. Yeah, these are 600 watt kettles. They're not the biggest, or the biggest elements at the end of the day, but
they're ideal for holidays.
They're ideal. We just use 1 bottle of water, and that's it. And if I just quickly lift that saucepan up, frying pan up, Shell.
Oh, frying pan.
You watch underneath, folks. Look at that. Look, there's no fire there. There's a little bit brown because of the staining on there, but go ahead and whack it
from
down.
The frying pan.
Just from the bottom of the frying pan. That is. That's not actually burning at all. There we go. Look at that. I think my burgers can come out now, can't they? They look like they're done. So let's put them on there. And then we can get your, oh, look at that. That's a plateful, isn't it? Yep. There we go, just get them out. The old black pudding, that can go on top. Look at that. On that one. That's it, just flip my eggs over. Oh no, you don't need to, do you? I'm happy with them like that.
You're happy with them like that?
Yep. There you go. And just whack them on there like that.
They're
down the side.
Them eggs aren't done enough for me.
They're fine. Beautiful, look at that. And that's my plateful. Now let's get Sharon's 2 rump steaks on. These are actually not rump steaks, they're lamb steaks, Sharon, aren't they? So we're going to get them open. And we left them till last because they've got sort of garlic and mint flavouring in them, haven't they?
Yeah.
So you might want to just turn them up a little bit now.
Turned it off because I didn't want to get splashed.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thinking of me top.
There we go. Kettle's boiled already, folks. Look at that. Look at that bubbling away in that short time. How about that? So we just switch that off. We'll pull that lead out of there. Like that. And let's just pour that, look at that, look. In that short time. Let's pour that in there now. There's one. And in there as well, Sharon's cup of coffee. There we go, a little drop more in there because I don't have milk in mine, you see. There we go. So that's ideal for these 2 takeaway mugs. And we'll just let that sit for a minute. In fact, let's put them in the middle there, Shell, because you might want to stir them in a minute, mightn't you? So we've just made that coffee, not having to wait. This is the fun of outside cooking, people, I tell you. Absolutely love it. Now, I've got a little bit of salt here. This is American salt. This is what they call real salt. Just going to put a bit on that burger there. Superb. Close that back up again. So let's have a little go at this. See if it's all cooked, which it should be. Cooked all the way through that burger. Look at that, fantastic. Oh, and all we've done is go to the supermarket. We bought some cheap stuff in there. The burgers was only £3 something. The black pudding was only £1 something. Brought a couple of eggs from home, however much an egg is, and I've got a full tasty meal there. Let's have a go at that black pudding. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Superb. And again, cooking in a tent can be a fire hazard. We have got a tent.
Yeah.
But using a power bank, using a power bank like the Fossibot F2400, you've got plenty of power and you're not causing a fire hazard as well. Oh, here we go. Look at them. How well done are those?
How I like them. Well done.
Just turn that hub off. Another cyclist looking for something to eat. Let's have a look at that. Just as you like it, Sharon. Well cooked. Absolutely superb. So this little beauty has done the job, and we've still got over 79% power left in there. So I can just turn it off now. Just hold the button in. The noise you could hear was actually the induction hob noise. It wasn't that. So at that low wattage, we was able to cook food of that sort of thickness and quality in probably about 10 minutes, I suppose. And absolutely superb. So there you go, folks. That's the Fossibot F2400 power bank there with all them different features on it. If you buy it through the link below, which is the direct from the Fossibot website, it's going down from $899 for a limited period of time down to $599. So it's a great discount at the moment, but do check the link out below, and if you're interested, give it a go, because it's a lovely tool, does everything we want it to do, and it's a very powerful one as well. Many different reasons why you will run a power bank. This is just one of them, what we've shown you, and earlier on we showed you about the UPS facility, which it's got if you've got sort of medical equipment or sensitive equipment that needs to be powered in the event of a power cut. Anyway, we're going to sit down and enjoy this now. Hope you've enjoyed this little video. We'll see you in the next video, and until then,
bye.
Bye for now.